terrible pressure and literally hunted by Milosevic regime. We offered shelter to several thousands of Afghans after the situation that was created by our alliance Leaving Afghanistan, and we are ready to do so in the future, of course, always considering our modest dimension and our not limitless capacities. So this is what I can say to answer your question. And I fully agree with the President that this phenomenon is something that has to be dealt in much more united manner and by defining very clearly the internal rules, both for European Union and for us, because the Western Balkans are the most incredible reality in the history of geography and of mapping, and I don't think there is another reality in the history of mapping where an entity, geographical and political entity, is surrounded completely by another entity. So practically we are not in the European Union, but we are surrounded completely by the borders of the European Union. So somehow we are part of it all the time, for good or bad.
Po e rimar pyetjen, në mbajti moti, po patëm probleme me përkthimin.
So the weather was really nice, but we had problems with the technical system of the interpreting.
Aleksandar Vučić duket sikur e ka bërë zgjedhjen e tij dhe ka zgjedhur Rusin, duke qenë edhe sot në Kinë për krah Vladimir Putin.
So it seems like Alexander Vučić has made his choice towards Russia, and he's even today along Vladimir Putin meeting in China.
Ndryshe nga sa ka bërë në të gjitha takimet e tjera të nismës procesit Berlinit. Por ndërkohë, çfarë po bën Bashkimi Evropian? A do të marrë sanksione për atë që ndodhi në 24 shtator, sepse duke shpallur ditëzie për 3 nga terroristët, Serbia në një farë mënyrë duket sikur e pranoi autorsinë e këtij sulmi. Do të ketë sanksione ndaj Serbisë? Kjo është e pyetja për bashkët, edhe për kancelarin, edhe për presidenten. Zonja presidente, kam një pyetje enkas për ju. Nuk e di nëse
So actually, it seems like today Mr. Vučić made a different choice, but nonetheless, I would like to go back to the events of the 24th of September. Has the European Union decided to take sanctions against Serbia? Because with its declaration on the morning day with the 3 terrorists, it's as if they accepted the authorship of what happened in Kosovo. So this is my first question to all of you, also to the Chancellor and to the President. And I do have another question for you, President, directly.
Nuk e di nëse presidenti Michel është më optimist nga natyra dhe ju jeni më objektive, por u duk sikur pati një përplasje të deklaratave tuaja kur Michel dha afatin e antarësimit vendeve të rajonit 2030 dhe pati një deklaratë nga zyra juaj që këmbguli që janë reformat ato që vendosin dhe jo data konkrete. Kush është arsyeja e këtyre 2 qëndrimeve tuaja? Zoti Rama, 9 vjet procesi Berlinit.
So actually, my question is related to your statements of today and the statement of the Council President Charles Michel. It seems like between you two, he is the most optimistic one and you are the more objective one, since he declared actually a certain timeline for the membership, for 2030, for the membership of the countries, whereas your office actually, after that statement, said that it is reforms, the ones that decide such a membership or accession. So I would like to ask you, what's the reason for this two different standings between the you two?
Should be gracious with our guests, okay. So let the other colleagues make questions. I'm here every day to be grilled from you, and very happily so, but Chancellor.
Soll ich anfangen? All right. So I think the first question also, part of the question also goes to me, what the horrible attack of the 24th of September is concerned, we strongly condemn that. At the moment being, we are in a process where the facts about the attacks need to be established, so we wait for the outcome of the investigation, and based on that one, we will decide on the next steps, of course, in close cooperation with our member states. Now, the date 2030. Accession is a merits-based process, and there cannot be a rigid date where, regardless of how you reformed or not, you enter the European Union. This will be never acceptable for the member states, or you have to wait till a certain date. 2030 would mean next mandate, no accession. So I think the agreed methodology, which we have in the European Council, is that it is a merits-based process. And this is much more rewarding for the countries too, because it's their efforts and their successes that brings them forward. And it's a strong incentive also to do the necessary steps. For example, if you take now the growth plan, the new growth plan, it is also merits-based. It says you reform, you do the steps forward, there will be funding and investment. And I think this is a much better incentive as to have a very rigid process which would then have an automatism. This goes against the methodology we have agreed on.
So I have not to add too much to what Ursula already said. Just shortly, we really condemn the attack against the policemen and all the activities that we saw in Kosovo, attacking institutions, attacking people. This is something we will not accept, and so it is absolutely clear that the European Union and all the member states, also Germany, are very clear on that point. We also ask for a very intense investigation and ask all to participate in this and support the investigations that are done by the Kosovo authorities, which I think is essential. Also that the Serbian authorities are cooperating in this field.